Okay, so this is just a quick update for everything that's going on. It's middle of August, getting close to the second half of August. Actually, I think we just entered the second half of August. I had to bring her with me. She just needed to get out of the house. It makes the video a little harder, but whatever. I guess people like looking at them anyway, so she's a good looking girl, huh? Yeah. So, anyhow, I've had some issues with my brakes. Coming back down the hill from this has drum brakes all the way around. I need to take them apart. I want to change out the spring kits, the pads, all that different stuff. But sit still. Um, Coming down the hill the other day, when I got to the bottom, it wouldn't come to a complete stop at the stoplight. I actually blew right through the stoplight. Um, when I got to the other side, luckily I didn't, get in a wreck or nothing. I found a place to pull off, and even when I got to that pull off, it took me probably 100 yards before the thing would finally stop. And even then, I had to drop it into low gear because it just wasn't, the brakes got hot and they weren't stopping anymore. So after they cooled off, they started gripping again, and I checked the brake fluid, and it was really low. I guess it had burnt some off because I can't find any leaks anywhere. No obvious leaks, anyhow. Stay sitting down. So I've got to head home. So I brought the dog with me, which probably wasn't the smartest idea because every 30 seconds she sees something and she wants to run off and chase it, and so I'm trying to hold her down, and it's just a big pain in the ass. Anyhow, I'm still here in Mono County. I'm down near one of the hot springs. I kind of screwed up. I went up to the Lakes Basin last week when it was only high 70s down here. Now I've come back and we're all the way up to 89, which is the hottest we've been all summer around here. Um, the hottest before this was 84. Back home it's 104, so I shouldn't complain too much about 89, but I'm acclimated to 70s and low 80s, so it feels hot. Um, Brakes went out the other day coming back down the Mammoth Lakes Basin. We should have done that backwards and went up to the Lakes Basin this week when it's hotter, because up there it's like 9,000 foot, so it's only 70s up there. It was almost too cold when I went up there. I really kind of screwed up on my timing with all of that, but I was trying to time it with when they would plant the fish, and I screwed that up too. They've been mixing it up. Sometimes they'll do it on Friday, which is the normal Thursday or Friday, but lately here they've been doing it one week on a Monday and the next week on a Friday. And so and maybe they're even doing some more different stuff than that. Maybe they're throwing a curveball in and putting them in on a Wednesday once in a while. I haven't figured it out. And there are fish in there, from the previous weeks that nobody caught. So you don't have to show up on the day they plant. You're just going to have better odds if you do. I sort of won the contest for the 1+1. At first, they had selected 22 winners out of people who were obvious cheaters. They had 15,000 votes. Some of them had 20,000 votes on their videos in the course of 6 days. Yet they only had maybe 5, 10, or 20 YouTube views. Sorry, but you don't get 15,000 votes on a video and only 20 people watch it. We all threw a big fit with the OnePlus company, and they realized that, yes, that was obviously cheating, so they disqualified the original 22 top ranked contestants, and they disqualified a bunch of people who were not quite in the top 22 but still cheating. So they awarded 22 phones to the 22 entries with the highest number of honest votes. And then they also gave away 110 phone invites to the next 110 people on the list in order of most voted, which put me on the list to get an invite. Now, the invite doesn't give you a phone. You've still got to pay for the phone. But the invites are extremely sought after right now. I've seen invites, just the invites, selling on eBay for $300. 2 million people registered to get invites, and they're only making 50,000 phones in the first batch to go around the entire world. And this phone is even more popular in places like India than it is here in the States. So really, really tricky to get to be one of the first early adopters of this new 1+2 phone. and I'm going to get an invite at the end of the week. That means I'm going to have to come up with $400 to buy the phone. A little more than 400 because I've got to buy some accessories like a screen protector and probably an extra charging cable. Ant just climbed on my leg. So that's going to be almost half of my income next month. Between that and the brakes going out, they're a little better now that I put the fluid in, but I need to take them home and have take everything apart and have it completely checked out. There's only one hill going home now on my new plan, and it's a pretty straight hill, so there's no curves. Luckily, if I do get going fast, I can just try to ride it to the bottom and hope for the best. At least I don't have to go around any curves at 60 or 70 or 80 miles an hour. I was going to go up to Bridgeport Reservoir, Buckeye Hot Spring, which has a creek, Buckeye Creek, right next to it, Travertine Hot Springs, which is world famous, and Bodie, the old gold mining ghost town. But that involves climbing a couple more passes, and between running out of time, running out of money, and not trusting these brakes, I'm just not going to make those passes this year. I'm not sure if I'm even going to make it to Alaska. The more and more I think about it, the less likely it seems. I mean, it could happen. That's still my plan. But I've been doing this for 5 years, and I can't even get out of California. There's so much stuff here I want to see, places I want to come back to. Now that I haven't finished this area, I'm going to probably try to come back here again next year because I want to see all those places. Travertine, Buckeye, Bridgeport, Bodie, Lee Vining, Mono Lake. Even Mono Lake I'm skipping, and the June Lake Loop. I have been to the June Lake Loop before, and I've drove past Mono Lake, so I've kind of seen them, but I haven't really gone and seen them yet. So I don't know. There's a lot of things I got to think about, a lot of things I got to do, but that's the update. I'm going to try to head home around the start of September, get my new phone going, which I'm real excited about. The image stabilizer is going to keep my videos from being so shaky. The low light capabilities are going to hopefully let me be doing some nighttime videos. I don't know if it'll pick up the skyline and stars or not. That would be amazing if it did. But even if I can just take pictures at night with low light and have them come out, I'll be happy. So yeah, that's just my update. I see I'm running into 6 minutes already, and it seems like I might have had something else to say, but I can't remember. Apparently the software on the new OnePlus 2 phone isn't going to have the pause button that this one has, and I really like that pause button because it saves me from having to merge a lot of clips together. Like if I wanted to get up and move locations. For example, like this. I didn't actually have to stop the video, go home, merge it together. I just hit pause, move the camera, and I move where I'm at. And now we've got the walkway and the creek that feeds the hot springs. So that'll be kind of a bummer, but that's one of the nice things about Android is there is a wide variety of applications out there. So I'll just have to play with different camera apps, and hopefully I'll find one that I really like. Or maybe if I just keep harping on OnePlus, I can convince them to customize the built-in camera app to make it more user-friendly. They actually put the button in there to get rid of notification sounds, which is something I didn't think they were going to do, and they surprised me by doing it. So maybe they'll listen to me on my my other complaints about the camera. I mean, I don't even have it yet. When I get it, I may be completely satisfied with the camera itself. Is supposed to be awesome. It's the camera app that's built into the phone that people are already complaining about. But they're comparing it to the camera app on the OnePlus One, last year's phone, which is probably the best damn camera app I've ever had. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. Like for instance here, I didn't have to actually merge two clips together. I just paused the phone, picked it up, changed my spot, changed the background and my positioning, and hit unpause. It's a really simple thing, but it's made doing videos a lot easier. Seeing that, yeah, I shaved my head recently. Seeing that shadow on my face is driving me nuts, but the sun is right above me. So unless I want to be blinded, there's nothing I can really do. I'll just have to hope this comes out all right on video. And it's not really my face that anybody's looking at anyway. We got her, we got the hot tub, we got the grasses and the flowers and the mountains and the sky. And the most important thing about this video is my bullshitting. Well, it's not really bullshitting because it's all true, but my talking, my telling you what's going on. And while we're on the subject of that, not only do I have to get home so that I can buy my new phone, fix my brakes, I've also, I don't know if you can see this airplane flying above. There's a fire going on in Lee Vining, so they've got some heavy air equipment out right now doing water drops and reconnaissance and such. So yeah, in addition to fixing my brakes and getting my new phone, I have also got to work on my battery system. I may have to get another solar panel and mount it up top permanently. The 100-watt portable I have right now works good enough when I'm in a place where I can point it. But if I'm driving around town all day, I'm not collecting any power, and that sucks. Or if I'm in a place where I can't set it up, then that's not really good either. My battery is just a single large deep cycle from Walmart, and it's a couple years old. So I'm going to also buy a couple of big 240 amp hour, I think it is, 6 volts, and put them together. That'll give me about 4 times the battery capacity, storage capacity that I have right now, which should be more than enough. So back to what I was saying. Since I've been using the cell phone signal booster, it's been draining a lot more battery. I think it's taking as much juice or even more than my TV. But it's been invaluable. I wouldn't have any cell signal here at all without that cell phone signal booster. The charging plug had a problem, and I'll talk about that in a whole nother video, but we were able to fix it and get it going. In this place, for example, I would have no cell signal with either my T-Mobile SIM or my AT&T SIM unless I went outside, held my phone way up in the sky, and stood there like an idiot, trying to squint through the sunlight to see the thing. Speaking of sunlight, I really picked a bad time of day to be doing this video, and this hat's not helping either. That shadow on my face, yeah, I shaved my head recently. That shadow on my face is just driving me crazy. Did I already say that? Anyhow, so we've got to upgrade the battery system. We've got to fix the brakes. We've got to seal the roof because they're talking about a big El Nino coming in this year, and I still have a leak. We've got to get my new phone. I've got to take care of some things back home, and then I'm not sure where I'm going to go this winter. I know I'm going to go spend some time back in my hometown visiting family and doing some work on the RV. But after that, I'm either going to go maybe over to the coast, maybe to a gold prospecting camp, which I'm also backed up on my membership fees with them. Or maybe I'll go to Saline Valley Hot Springs, which is a really interesting experience. We might do that. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Then there's also Slab City and Quartzsite. There's so many options for the winter. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just hope I can make one of them happen after all the things I have to fix and buy. I've also decided I'm going to buy a Wi-Fi antenna and repeater from Sea Crane. It's about $150. I've been putting it off, but when I go into town this fall, back to my hometown, I'm going to be parked a lot of places where I could get a Wi-Fi signal if I had that, and so I'm going to have to buy it. I've put it off too long. It's time. I've just got to do it. There goes the dog yanking the phone out of my hand again. So anyways, do whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you you can't, and have a blast when you're doing it.